testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Welcome, everybody. Our Board of Trustees will be joining us shortly. We are testing at this moment the microphone and the audio. Maybe we have them hold the microphone. Can you hear okay? Okay, well, we'll have them hold it.
families and staff have made to make this a very special, welcoming year for everybody. And we want to thank everybody in the community who's been a partner with us to make it possible for Fullerton School District to safely open its doors, to properly allow teachers to Zoom, to clean our classrooms, to provide food for our community, to donate everything we need. Yay! Thank you all, and welcome back. Now it gives me great pleasure to welcome up one of our students. Hikaru is from Nicholas Junior High. She is an amazing young lady, besides being an amazing student, and one of the winners of the National Debate and Speech Contest. She is a dancer. What more can you want? Hikaru, would you like to come up and lead us in the pledge?
Please rise. Right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
We thank everyone for being here tonight to recognize our amazing students who have demonstrated that persistence and hard work matter, and it can lead to being recognized as one of the best in the country. We'd like to thank our speech and debate students. Raise your hands so we can see you. Teacher coaches, raise your hands, please. I see you in the back, Mrs. Bucci. And thank you. Principals, raise your hand. Yay. And partners who've made this night possible. We are proud to be entering our third year in being able to offer this program at no cost to our students and families by partnering with Advantage Communications, who provide nationally recognized coaching excellence and expertise in competitive speech and debate. Advantage Communications provides speech and debate coaching for over 600 elementary and middle schools at students at Fullerton School District. Yay! Wow! It all started way back when Principal Susan Marcato started speech and debate at Maple School. At this time, we would like to recognize and call up Sal, and who is the founder and CEO of Advantage, and Vinny, come on up, District Director and Vice President of Advantage. We appreciate your hard work and dedication to our students. You have made such a difference. I have sent you virtual hugs. We really appreciate all you do. Students, do you appreciate them? Let's hear. We cannot thank you enough, really. Woohoo! He said those are his first flowers. In June, 11 of the 17 participating schools in this district had students qualify to compete at nationals in a virtual competition that required them to send in video recordings. Obviously, Fullerton School District would have to step up with that. Overall, Fullerton School District had 40 middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students participate in nationals in 7 different events. 10 of these amazing students were recognized as being one of the top 10 students in the country for their event. 2 of the 10 students won in 2 categories. 6 of these students' top 10 performances resulted in Park Junior High becoming a National School of Excellence and the 2020 Middle School Champions. Yes! You're going to have to take a second and be patient with me because I have something to say to our students. I've been watching your accomplishments. I'm actually the one who gave you the little bags with the beads and the trophy when you had your drive-by celebration. And I want to tell you something in my heart that I feel so strongly about speech and debate. In doing debate, you discover that one must learn fact to support both sides of an issue. It is only when one understands all of the information that one can form a personal opinion and then create the most rational and persuasive argument. During times of political choices, knowing how to investigate information and make high-level decisions will make one a better citizen. We can see how important that is during these very crazy times. In the workforce, being able to intelligently defend your visions and positions will make you a very valuable employee. These same skills will help with your relationships. Believe me when I say, as a parent and a spouse, debating skills are very important. Of course, dramatic interpretation may also help a great deal. So, I'm thrilled to know that you will go forward with some wonderful skills for life in the future. Now, it is super my honor to start with Parks Junior High. And I think Janelle, are you going to be giving out the things? Good to see you. Irene Sheen won for declamation and impromptu.
Sherman, just have a little bit of technical trouble. I think they're going to fix it here.
We're working on a different mic.
I would dance for you, but I don't know how. So we'll take a moment here, and you can talk in your family about great advice. Technical troubles. Thank God you didn't have when you make your videos to compete, because obviously you sent in high quality performances. Are we okay?
Just keep going for now.
I'm going to use an outside voice. Irene Sheen, did you bring her
Irene Sheen.
yeah, for her declamation and impromptu award?
Okay.
Congratulations. Do we have anyone taking pictures?
Yes.
Oh,
He's
okay.
double
Stand
digit.
right here.
Let's take the picture. Sorry, come on. 1, 2, 3. One more, 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
Okay, the next person, Sammy Venezuela for storytelling. From Sunset Lane, Nathan Herrera.
Test 1, 2, test. Hello, test. Test 1, 2. Test to test 1, 2. Test, test.
So that when he looks at his stuff, he can remember this is a crazy time. Moving on. This is so that you'll have a picture of the crazy
Hold it down just a little bit, right there.
Thank you. Kevin Herr for informative speech. Kevin? Proud of you, Kevin. Proud of Sunset Lane. Thank you. And we have storytelling.
Test 1, 2, test, 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 test. Okay. Better, better, better. Okay, let's try this again.
Laguna Road, Ashana, Giolani. I hope I did that okay, Ashana. Yay. Congratulations. Come turn around.
Thank you.
Those are all of our 6th graders who won, and that's wonderful. From Nicholas Junior High, Ruby Perez, declamation and program oral interpretation. Thank you. Also from Nicholas, Hikari Deo, dramatic interpretation. Thank you. From Beechwood School, Naomi Maciel. Please tell me I did that right. Humorous interpretation. Noemi. Okay, I'm learning. Thank you. I needed that correction. Congratulations. Now from Ladera Vista and formerly Hermosa Drive, Costa Gomez Bueno for storytelling. Okay, we're going to go see her on Zoom. Costa, there it is. Let's everybody tell her congratulations. Yay, Costa. Oh, I'm going to stand here and we're going to have our pictures taken together.
Costa, you smile, all right? I'm gonna take it. No, you guys are good. You guys are good. 1, 2, and 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Smile.
That's the last one I have. So now I'd like to invite up the teachers, if they don't mind coming up, who helped with this program, because we are so proud of the work they did, and they volunteered for this, and we appreciate their efforts. come out, because it's your leadership that encourages everybody to participate. So please come up.
You guys want to stay up here for a nice little photo walk? I didn't change lens for this. We're going to take a picture. Right here. Right. Let's get over here. Right here.
Go back.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Oh.
Yes. Right there.
Yes, you have to go in the back row because you're too tall.
You're fine.
How are you? I didn't know I was going to see you tonight. I should have.
On three. Find us. There you go. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, and 3. Got it.
That concludes this part of our presentation. And again, all of us at the board want to say
Thank you very much, everybody. Congratulations for your hard work.
Congratulations. Also very proud of the Nicholas students, former Nicholas student here.
a little political one. Thank you.
In the back, we have sweet treats ready for you. They're individually boxed cupcakes from Patty's Cakes. So please enjoy. Oh, and thank Patty.
We are now going to move into the boardroom and continue our meeting in the boardroom. Because now you have
All right, so I don't know if we can pass the Patty's cake to you guys, but congratulations. All right.
Sorry about that. Thanks, that worked out really well. Thanks for joining us. Thank you. Really proud of you. Good job. So there'll be some stuff waiting for you at the district office tomorrow, okay? All right, thanks. Take care.
It sort of makes me happy
Good job,
when
Mom
you
and Dad.
guys have glitches because my life is a glitch.
Oh yeah, no, it happens. You did a good job up there.
Okay.
be able to start this day. So my superintendent's report is really just to honor and recognize all of the staff. Hired and going, and he's put in already a tremendous amount of work. We appreciate his expertise and thank him and welcome him to our Fullerton family. Thank you. You want to say?
Well, hello. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to joining the team. No compliments to me regarding the opening today from the classified staff office. That was the classified HR team doing amazing things and showing me the ways of what they do. They are fabulous human beings, and I'm honored to be a part of their team and look forward to working for Fullerton School District.
Well, we're happy to have you, and actually, we're not a team, we're a family. So welcome.
I stand corrected. Well, thank you very much.
Trustee Meyer, would you like to tell us something? Sure. I think Margaret, I don't know if she's got time about it. Yes. Otherwise, one of the things I really, really enjoyed, and I know there's a lot of people out here who made this happen and had a great idea. They would these lessons by teachers. There's a sixth grade teacher, a first grade teacher, a second grade teacher, a math. The lessons and the explanations was really cool. And the graphics, it was so professional. Pamela, you were one of them. And I know Anna Montoya was one of them. And we had a first grade, Mrs. Spencer. Yeah, those were really cool. That would be a great PR piece, for sure. I mean, it was really neat. And this is a picture of my husband and I, because we welcome you back. And we're really proud of what everybody's doing. And I know it's got to be really tough. I want to say I know how tough it is, but I have no idea how tough it is. But talking to the different people, it just sounds like the transition has been amazing. Things have flipped. Kids are happy. Parents are happy. It seems like it's working, and knock on wood, it's a great opening. And I just want to thank everybody for their patience and staying up late and everything they're doing, and hang in there. There's a light at all the end of all the tunnels. I don't know how far the tunnel is, but there's always a light at the end of it at some point. And thanks, Carmen, for popping that up. Welcome back.
Thank you, Jen. Trustee Garrett?
I'm not sure if my light this one never works. I'll just use my outside voice. No, how about here? This works. Oh, great. Can you hear me now? Oh, yeah. Why is that? Sorry. I want to echo welcome back to everybody. I know that it's a feat that's very challenging. To us, it was like easy. To you guys, I am sure that every day you got new things that you had to kind of figure out what to do. And once you figure that out, something else comes, right? So I think that's how it's going to be for probably another couple of weeks, maybe more. We appreciate the fact that you guys are all working together as a team, as a family, for the sake of our kids and our families. So thank you for that. I think that the people behind those videos, Wes and Pablo back there, big shout out to you guys, always everywhere. We could not have done all this again without everybody and you guys stepping up to use your creativity and making that all seem seamless. So thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. A shout out to our whole community, because those welcome back signs for the brainchild of not sure whose idea it was. I have a little Lori's signature on it, active in making sure that everyone feels like we are appreciative and that we're all in this together. And I think that the signs, everywhere you look, the whole community, the business community, our business partners, our community partners, our PTAs, our nonprofits, everyone working together to come together to put up those signs. Just something as simple as a sign, I think means a lot. It means that we're all in this together, and that everybody has the back of everybody else. And I think that's what makes our community special, and it makes our district special. So I really appreciate that, and I can't tell you how much it's on another note, I just wanted to share with my colleagues that, we really don't have to figure it out right now. I had an opportunity to moderate a school board forum. Never been on that other side of it, right? And all you guys know, you guys are wrong. You guys, I think that we have a great district, we have a great administration, and we have a great working relationship with everyone. And I think that's sometimes we forget that because we're so used to it. That not every district works together as well. Not every district has those signs up. Not every district has that opportunity to.
I know, but.
Trustee Kapoor.
I really can't add to all the wonderful glowing comments about Fullerton School District really going above and beyond to accommodate parents' wishes and to develop a plan that takes into account everyone's safety, really leading in technology. That was good timing.
I want to welcome the first officer director and welcome the team. I also want to welcome the lady that is along with taking into account everything that we're doing, I think testing, ongoing level testing for our faculty is very important. I know I've spoken with Chad about just the capacity, I think, certain for the first clinics to take on these duties that we're not necessarily ready to handle such a large influx of testing. So I'm sure that process will continue to improve as well. And then just again, the live streaming or business system is something on this board we're committed to greater transparency, providing, especially in these unprecedented times, more information to our parents and partners. So I love to see this. Thank you, everybody. Welcome back.
Thank you. Before I start, I'd like everyone to notice the board behind me. These are the awesome students who we honor tonight for becoming the national champions of speech and debate. So if you're bored with us, several people have written, whether they were parents, grandparents, staff members, all sorts of concerns, questions, suggestions for opening the school year. I know that I've tried really hard, and I'm sure my colleagues have, to respond to your letters. And even when we don't necessarily have the ability to solve your problems, we want you to know we appreciate you contacting us. And that's for real. We don't want thoughts to fester. We want you to contact us and for us to genuinely try to respond to you in the best possible ways. So keep the letters coming, and we hope that you are appreciating and enjoying these first 2 months of school and these first 2 days of live school. Now for my most fun thing. Congratulations, Laguna Road School, for being named an exemplary high-performing Blue Ribbon School. Yay! The Foundation for Korean Language and Culture has given $30,000 in commitment to Fissler, Parks, and Beechwood schools so that they can continue their foreign language and culture programs. And we appreciate the collaboration with the Korean Language and Cultural Center. So thank you to them, and thank you for giving our students the opportunities to better understand Asian communities and the Korean language. That will be more and more important as time goes by. Finally, this month, the Department of Justice gave us a grant, hold on to your seat, for $500,000, I'll repeat that, $500,000 to put video surveillance cameras into all of our schools and gunshot detectors. We really, really appreciate the people in our district who work for these grants and these wonderful acclamations. And the grant from the Department of Justice really responds to our parents' and community's concerns for the safety of our schools. So thank everybody who had a part of that, and yay for Fullerton School District, who once again has been able to be very successful with recognition in important ways to improve our district. Now I'd like to hear from DLAC. Mrs. Mincy, good evening.
Good evening, President Sugarman, school board members, executive cabinet, Superintendent Dr. Pletka, and all the families present and listening to this meeting. As DLAC, we are very happy to welcome back all the students to our school campuses. We are committed to supporting this reopening in any way possible. We want to tend and show our appreciation to all the teachers, all our administrators and staff for all their hard work in making this reopening a reality. DLAC represents families participating in all the learning models and know that each option that parents choose will be a success. As a community, we are appreciative for all the leadership of our Superintendent, Dr. Pletka, Cabinet, and Board. Thank you for always listening to all the stakeholders and addressing any concerns the community has during these times of uncertainty. We continue to partner with you to represent our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate your support. Now, do we have some information from the PTA? Carmen? Thank you.
On behalf of PTA, first of all, welcome back to in-person school. We were so happy and excited to be part of the Welcome Back celebration. Working with Lori Bruno on this fun event was great, and seeing all of our school celebrations just warms our hearts. We are truly fortunate to be in this wonderful district. If you'd like to see what was happening at each school, please visit the Fullerton Council PTA Facebook page for all the pictures. We have already heard that morning drop-off went well and that parents felt safe. We know that there will be some adjusting to this new way of in-person learning, but know that the district has done everything and more to make sure it continues to go smoothly. PTA membership drives are still going strong. This year more than ever, every membership is important. If you haven't done so already, please join your local PTA. Our Art Reflections contest, I Matter Because, is also happening right now. Every student is encouraged to participate in any of the 6 categories: literature, musical, composition, visual arts, dance, choreography, photography, and film/video production. Check with your school for due dates to submit your entries. Again, we'd like to thank our district for making sure our students, teachers, and staff are safe in their return to school. Sincerely, Wendy Reed and Christy Carter, Fullerton Council PTA Board.
Thank you. Do we have any information from CSEA this evening? Come on over. Hi.
Good evening, Dr. Pletka, President Sugarman, members of the board and community. I am Joanne DeClaire, speaking on behalf of CSEA. We'd like to give an enormous heartfelt thank you to the classified staff, teachers, and administrators who helped the special education students with their recent reentry transition. This 3-week process was extremely beneficial for those involved. We saw firsthand the struggles created by adapting to change, not only for our students, but for our staff as well. It was like a soft opening where we were able to practice all of these safety protocols the district has put into place to benefit everyone. With all our schools reopening today, there was excitement and apprehension in the air. We are all so happy to see the students again, but I urge everyone to remain cautious and follow the safety measures put into place to keep us safe. Cabinet and RISC have worked their tails off to plan for every possible scenario. This is all new, different, a bit time-consuming, but necessary. The health and safety of each and every one of us remains the top priority of FSD to ensure our students continue to learn, grow, and thrive during this pandemic. All of our staff who make learning happen every day, but are especially thankful for the various changes of this pandemic. Our tech support and instructional support staff have been instrumental in aiding teachers and students. Our CWA, ISS, business, and child development, as well as school office staff, have tackled new procedures to meet the ever-changing attendance requirements. Personnel have had to revamp their testing, interviewing, and hiring procedures for distance standards. Bus drivers are sanitizing entire buses and adapting seat capacities. The work of the social service assistants, health clerks, and office managers never ends, but we are ready to do our part to make in-person learning a success. Since my home is the business department, I want to take a moment to highlight our grit, dedication, and determination. We are proud to work for the Fullerton School District with our mission to provide the best possible customer service. Purchasing has been moving mountains since day one of the pandemic, ordering all of our PPE supplies and other unique items to help support FSD in our quest to provide a world-class education. They are rushing orders for technology and ed services, on top of all of the typical day-to-day orders for equipment, supplies, services, and materials district-wide. They continue to follow Ed Code, Public Contract Code, state and federal laws to ensure purchase orders and contracts are always the best. They are simultaneously business and the new board doc software. None of this is possible without our newest buyer, Denise Gutierrez, who was hired just last year, given a crash course in purchasing, and through her grit and ability to multitask, was instrumental in ordering all the items throughout the last 8 months. The purchasing department has always been a step ahead, pushing the limits for excellence and focused on the end goal of getting students back in school. The warehouse department has played a huge role in receiving and delivering of all the PPE, technology, supplies, and materials from the thousands of purchase orders processed. The warehouse team has exemplified the definition of team players. They drove out to vendors as far as Norco to pick up pallets of Easy Ups for school supplies just to make sure our schools and departments would have the items they need to support the timing of their events. All the surplus requests got picked up to help clean out classrooms to meet the new distancing class sizes. They secured free desks from Anaheim Union High School and delivered them to sites when they were back ordered, as well as the usual last-minute requests. The warehouse team has done it all with professionalism and determination to get students safely back in school. The transportation department was extremely flexible, taking assignments wherever the district needed them. Along with delivering food to school sites all summer, they assisted the warehouse with deliveries and supervised the children of FSD employees. The shop built custom holders to install hand sanitizers in the entire fleet of buses. They are replacing AC filters more frequently and installed signage to communicate distance seating. Drivers are following new cleaning protocols with the electrostatic sprayer, and every bus that enters the shop will be disinfected with the new UVC lights, which can disinfect air, water, and non-porous surfaces. Cheryl Munoz is the backbone of the department, and when it comes to routing special education students, she has shown amazing patience and commitment to providing our students with world-class transportation. We are amazed at her resilience and her can-do attitude. Carissa Spindola has been recently promoted to dispatcher and has hit the ground running. She supports the department at every turn and continues to give it her all, never giving up. Together, they worked tirelessly to create multiple transportation scenarios for the district's leadership. We have been recruiting for nearly 2 years for the integral position of school bus driver trainer and enthusiastically welcome Rose Williams to our team. She is certified by the state to train and educate school bus drivers, including brand new applicants. She has completed CASBO's Leadership Academy and has earned the Director of Transportation certification. She will be key in rebuilding our training department. Another recruit is Chloe Carrasco, our clerical assistant. Although she is new to transportation, she has shown exceptional customer service skills, and she's handling all of the grace. Lastly, I'd like to take a moment to share accounting's happening. After 9 extremely long and most of them COVID crazy months, our department is now fully staffed. Due to a retirement, a promotion, a transfer, and a new hire, our team is finally complete. However, being short-staffed did not deter us from working hard to close the books for the fiscal year and learning our new procedures for the business bus transition. We will also see all of us at school sites this week, lending a helping hand wherever is needed. Amazing customer service to support successful students is our mission. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. FETA, do you have the courage to go next? He always does a great job.
Well, we did it. We opened school today in person. So congratulations. I've been looking forward to being able to say that. We opened school, teachers are back, kids are back. On behalf of FETA too, I would also like to acknowledge Joanne and my CSEA colleague for all that they've done, our classified staff, to make this day possible. So thank you. And of course, a giant thank you to our incredible teachers for making this return possible. Overall, our first day was relatively smooth and went better than expected. We are excited to see our students in person, and we're focusing on establishing routines that follow our safety protocols. Teachers continue to struggle with the challenge of juggling between our live students and those on Zoom, and we continue to search for creative ways to refine and improve this new teaching model. It is very difficult. I did reach out today and ask for praise and concerns, and some praises included one elementary teacher commenting that my kids are adorable. Already I hear more participation from the ones in class and the ones on Zoom when I ask questions or we try a class discussion. We still have some bugs to work out with students forgetting their iPads or not having them fully charged, and thanks to IIS for providing power packs and power strips, we already have used them today, so thank you. Many teachers commented on how wonderful it was to see their kids again. Kids were happy to return, and we could tell that there were many smiling under their masks. Specifically at Parks, I had comments, praise given to Laura Makeley and Robin Monchow for doing an outstanding job through this whole process of distance learning and returning to school. The protocols that they have established for a safe return were practiced today for a smooth transition for students and staff. They did everything necessary to ensure all students and staff were safe today. We appreciate what they do for us and our students. Some concerns included that some junior high students experienced some confusion, the new block scheduling and such, which I'm sure they'll get used to. Some Wi-Fi issues were experienced at the tent, which IIS is addressing. Some teachers are still learning on how to use the technology that was purchased and using the mock videos. Some were helpful, some felt that they could have been more helpful. Some concerns are still at many sites about full staffing, and as the district had promised, and I know that Chad is working on making sure that everybody is staffed to the best of our ability. Concerns still abound about teaching in person and Zoom teaching, as it's very difficult, and many conscientious teachers still struggle as they feel they're unable to provide the very best. There will definitely be some revisions and changes that will still need to come, and we've started this challenge to reopen effectively. And we're pleased with many aspects, but we are by no means running as smooth as we would like to be. Personally, I'd like to thank Raymond for Principal, Christina Centeno, for supporting our Raymond students and ensuring our teachers and staff a very safe return. We know that with your support and reasonable expectation that we will meet this challenge, and again, we appreciate the continued confidence, support, and flexibility that you allow our incredible FSD teachers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well done. We appreciate the uptake of daily report. Thank you. Information from FESMA? Dr. Gilbert.
Good evening. I want to share that today was a milestone. 3 weeks ago was a milestone, and today was a milestone. But we redeemed the number 13. The 13th was the day we found out we were closing, and the 13th was the day that we reopened. So that is a redemption. And as you've heard tonight by many people, many of us in this room were out at the school sites, and of course the teachers were in the classroom. I am just amazed at the collaboration and the leadership of our administrators with our teachers and the staff at the site for having everything organized. Not only did they have Plan A, they had Plan B and a Plan C in case Plan A and B did not go through. And with small glitches, nothing that couldn't be quickly resolved. Students came, they were happy, and parents were excited to wave and drive right through. So we know that this day was a long time coming. We still do know, and just as Joanne had shared, we also take this day with caution. We know that our reality is still that we have this virus that is still out there, and so knowing all of the parameters and safety measures that have been in place through cabinet ensuring that we have our health and safety at the forefront. I am grateful again for Lori Bruno, who has, she can tell you anything there is to know about health and safety, but with Chad's leadership and cabinet's leadership, ensuring that we had everything that we need at the school sites as well as at the district for those of us that work here. So it's something that we're going to continue to build on. The number 13 is now a good date for us, and although we may have ups and downs as we move forward, and we may find things in our future related to this virus, we will know that we have succeeded a milestone, and no matter what, we could always come back to this because now we've experienced it. So we will continue to learn, but thank you to everyone coming together, and especially to our administrators who really did such an amazing job behind the scenes, organizing and putting kids in certain tracks and cohorts and groups, and ensuring that everything was safe for kids today. And thank you to our teachers. I know this is not an easy time, having your feet in two worlds, those virtually and those in front of you. But I'm sure our kids were very excited to see their teachers in person if they hadn't met them already. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the information there. I want to remind those watching us on live stream that on the 9th, which was last Friday, the district sent out a notification on health questions and temperature checks that everyone should do before going to school in the morning. There are 11 things people should do, and it's on our website, I'm sure. So please, before you send your children and before anyone reports to work, check temperatures, muscles, can smell, all the things we hear about. Because we want children to come to school, but we want them to come safe. We want teachers and workers to come to the school and to the district, but we want them to come safely for them and for others. So thank you, and look at how, show your children how to wear a mask, because I see them like this, and they think they're wearing it, and please make sure that they see the videos and check how to do things so that everyone is safe. And even if it's not the safety, it's the emotional safety. We want people to feel less stressed. So thank you on that. I'm moving on now to, I mentioned before we have no public comments this evening. So I'm moving on to approve the minutes. Do I have any corrections or adjustments to the minutes? Do we have a second?
Second.
Further discussion? I'd like to thank those who wrote the minutes for the job well done. We appreciate it. It's an important record for everyone. All those in favor? Aye. 4-0. Thank you. Oh, 3, Trustee Meyer can't vote. She wasn't here at the last meeting. Thank you. Moving on, we have a COVID update, and I know that people are eager to hear that.
So I wasn't kidding when I said Joanne did an amazing job of. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll move to approve the agenda.
Second.
So Joanne from CSEA gave a comprehensive look at all the things that our classified staff did to get ready, and all of the work behind that, and just want to acknowledge that. We also want to acknowledge the work of, I want to say both our CSEA pals, as well as our FETA pals, and of course FESMA, and working together to make this day possible. Today though, while we are very excited to begin school in person, and like you have heard, it was great to see smiling faces. We had an opportunity to go out to the sites, and while definitely things will get better, there was a sense of efficacy as sites move forward and to work through the many things that needed to get done just so the kids could enter. But our goal is not to open, our goal is to stay open safely. And we need everyone's help. Each of us, we need each parent, we need each child, we need each staff member to wear our masks. And when we are sick, to stay home. And I will say, I will be the first to admit in the past, being sick and coming to work. And it starts with me, and it starts with everyone. That if we're sick, we need to stay home. And we do that as a gift, first of all, to each other, to our colleagues, to our children. And so that's one of the things that was in the letter that we sent home to both parents and staff, that if we're sick, it's okay. Take the time and stay home. I had a parent ask me, they said, we know you're worried. As educators, we know your staff is worried, but the parent asked me, are you looking forward to seeing my child? And I think we heard Mark say today, yes, our teachers are happy to see our kids. Our administrators and our principals and our office staff, we are happy to see them. We miss them. And we look forward to continuing to work with them, in some cases closing the learning gap, in other cases engaging and helping kids move forward. And so just to say, we look forward to this opportunity to move forward, and I want to thank a special thanks to Robin and Mark and Al and the teams, your teams, that made this possible. And there was, I know, a lot of behind the scenes work, and I said this at a FETA meeting, but I wanted to say it publicly. I can't tell you how many hours of the associations and their leadership spent working on this, volunteering their time, putting in hours after hours after hours this summer. And so sometimes we hear about how associations, there may be contention and all those things. I'm lucky to say that we really do have incredible leadership in our associations, and people that really care about our community, about our children, about our parents, and our staff, and each other. And so it's also, this was made possible through working with good leaders, effective leaders in our district. So that's how I wanted to open. I'm kind of, so here's some fun part. Jeremy gets to talk about some of the cool tech that allowed us to open. So he has a few things, and then we have some updates from both personnel, Chad and Rob, to talk a little bit more about some of the things coming. But we'll start, I think, with some of the fun stuff here.
It's like your kid, you give him all the fun things.
It's really like a Futurama. When you go in the classrooms and you see what we've been able to put in for every teacher.
Okay, so this is a presentation that was sent out system, either a Red Cat that we purchased or the Juno system that they already had. A gooseneck clamp for the iPad that allows it to be up in front if you want to be able to sort of walk and talk to it, or down, pulled down if you want to use it as a document camera. Audio connections. We settled in a couple different audio connections that allow us to connect the Red Cat over to the computer, so as you're talking through your microphone, the kids on the Zoom can hear you, even if you're not right in front of the computer. USB-C hub, because we did not have enough adapter ports, so everybody gets a hub. Let's get more adapter ports going. And then we sort of set up and said, this is what a classroom would look like. Here's your computer, here's your adapter, here are the cables, here's a view from the back, here's a view from the front, here's where this cable goes in, here's where that cable goes in, here's how you hook up your gooseneck to sort of work with that. Here's how to set up your iPad to make it work like a document camera. Here's how to set up the iPad if you want to zoom to the iPad in front of you instead. And then try to give some directions for those that might be like, okay, I just need this in front of me to say, where does this plug in? Where does that plug in? How does this work? So we try to get everybody set up as well as we could. Typically, these amplification systems will be in the back of the room, not in the front, because the point of them was more for the back of the room. Our original thinking on this was not, ooh, we need something that'll let us project into a Zoom. That actually wasn't even a thought until we already had them, and we sort of looked at them and said, there's a line out here. I wonder if there's a way to let teachers walk around the room and utilize this system to then still talk into the Zoom. So that was it's sort of making this suit a new purpose, which is why they're in the front instead of the back. Once we get back to normal teaching, those will go to the back of the room for teachers. And we just talked about how, can you AirPlay? Yes. Can you use an HDMI cable? Yes. Sort of a side view of a room. We just try to give lots of examples of what the classroom could look like. How do you plug it in? We went over to Fistler, where they have projectors instead of televisions. We wanted to walk through and make sure they were comfortable and they were able to project as well and do the same things you can if you were on a television. So a lot of very similar pieces, just sort of where you're going to project and how you're going to plug in a little differently when you're in one of those rooms. And then we did an iPad as a document camera. And we have a couple of videos that showed this. We're not going to be showing the videos themselves, and the reason we're not going to do that is because on the consent forms for the parents to bring them in, we told the parents we would not be showing these to anybody but our staff, because really this was for our staff. And Trustee Meyer, you're right. It's a neat PR piece. It would be sort of neat to be able to put these out on our website, but we really wanted to gain the trust of the parents to bring them in before it was really full opening time, when we could still do that small cohort, to be able to train our staff and give them a better idea of what these videos would look like. So this is some instructions on Zoom, on how to make the iPad appear in your Zoom if you're using it as a document camera. Some things you can do through QuickTime, just some instructions on how to do that. And again, document cameras. So if somebody has a document camera, we sort of told them, where in the video can you see how this teacher was utilizing the document camera instead? if you had one of those. And again, there are apps out there. This is how you get the document camera to appear in your Zoom. So we try to give as much of this as humanly possible out. And then how to play a video in a Zoom for the Zoom students to hear. So how are the Zoom students going to hear when you're playing a video? How does that work? And then how to set up your amplification. Like, there's all your cables. This is how you do it in the Juno. This is how you do it in the Red Cat. And again, the different things that we bought for them as far as audio adapters and things like that. We talk about, is that it? Oh, that's it. A couple other things that we've purchased very recently that are not on here. One is our some of our RSP, RTI coaches and our special ed teachers said, I really want to run small groups. And the best way for me to do that is I could actually interact with like 3 students in front of me if I had a little different headphones set up. So we tried out, people on the Zoom didn't believe me. I said, yeah, it's called the trucker or the truck driver headphone. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, no, it totally is. So I showed them, and it's like, yes, it's a trucker headphone. So, because truckers use these because they last 18 hours, it goes on one ear, then you keep one ear open. So it's a microphone too. So we've delivered these to every special education RSP and RTI coach, and then we bought more for their aides. So what they're gonna be able to do is they're gonna be able to run 3 Zooms in the same classroom, all with small groups. So the 3 kids in front of them can be on a Zoom while they're still talking to the other kids in a Zoom and still run 3 at the same time because of these headphones. So but hopefully by the end of this week, early next week, every single person in those rooms will have those that need them. We also have ordered 2 different sets of headphones with microphones. One is for our special education students. We found a set of headphones with microphone that have a bendy mic that can go under the mask. And it actually works really well under the mask, so they're able to communicate with their teacher in a lower voice and still be able to hear it right through the Zoom, and the teacher can hear that. So we have 3,000 of those coming because we decided not only to give it to special ed students, but we thought, the 5-day kids in the NPR, if they have 8 different Zooms going on, this would work really better for them because it would disrupt others less and it would keep them a little more tuned into their Zoom. So we ordered those for them. Then we ordered a better set of headphones and mics also for our junior high students on Wednesdays when they need to be in the block schedules. So those are coming hopefully in the next 2 weeks. We'll have all of that. So in the meantime, we bought everybody the little earbuds, and they're okay, but they're working, but we'd rather get them a little better experience for those. So that's where we're currently at. I've been on Amazon a lot, so it's been it's been fun. Sorry, Rob, I spent a lot of money, but I feel like it's been as successful as we could be. Are there things I wish I would have done earlier? Absolutely, but I also think that that comparatively to what I'm hearing is around and out there, I feel like we've done a good job for our folks and really tried to make this as easy as possible, both for the students and for our teachers. Even though it's a lot of cords and a lot of cables, which isn't always as easy as can be, I know I'm working with an amazing team that goes out and supports and does what they can to help everybody out. So I feel like we've done a good job, and so I'll turn it over to Chad or Rob.
Thank you. I think all of us take our hats off to all that thinking and creativity.
One of the reoccurring themes we've heard this evening is the importance of people and the importance of everybody working together to make this happen. In addition to our classified staff, our certificated staff, our administrators, we also have a whole group of substitutes out there that are helping us as well. They're helping us with students in the 5-day program. They're helping us with doing our temperature checks in the morning, helping us monitor students at recess and lunch. And I would really like to thank both the certificated and the classified personnel team. And our theme has been pushing a boulder up a hill, finding staffing at this time that was willing to come and work at our schools, and finding the amount of staffing that we've needed to ensure that we can meet parents' options to return to school has been pushing a boulder uphill. And they've done an amazing job. It's been great to go out to the schools today and see the students return and know that the students have sufficient supervision and that we're able to do the important things. And I'd really like to reiterate something that Dr. Bob said, which was, it's not just having the students return, it's allowing them to be able to return every day. And that's the most important thing. And that really takes everybody. That takes our students, that takes our parents, that takes our classified staff, our certificated staff, our administrative team, and our substitutes all being committed to our health and safety measures. It's not just enough to do it day one, day two, but it has to be done every day. And the hard part is, it's real easy to get fatigued and say, oh, do I have to wear that face covering again? Do I have to wash my hands again? Yes, we really are highly emphasizing 5 things. And that is, number 1, checking for symptoms. There are 11 different things we're asking folks to check every day. Do I have a temperature? Have I been around someone who has COVID? Do I have a new cough? Do I have congestion? Do I have body aches? Do I have a sudden loss of smell or taste? We're asking folks to go through and check those every day. We're screening every student and every staff member and every adult that comes on campus for a temperature every day. And this morning I was out personally at 4 sites watching that happen. And it's amazing watching our students, our staff, everybody go through and have their temperature checked. Super important. The next thing that's so important is social distancing. Making sure that we're not gathering in groups and we're not closer to each other than 6 feet. And it was great today seeing our students and our staff using those distancing dots, staying 6 feet apart, and the students reminding each other, hey, we need to stay 6 feet apart. I saw a lot of students, arms to the side, we need to each stay arms apart. And it was great to see that taking place. The third piece is face coverings, making sure that everyone is wearing a face covering that covers the nose and goes under the chin. And that those face coverings stay on. We do have the ability for students to take a break. If they need to go outside, be 6 feet apart from all others and remove the mask to get some fresh air, that can definitely happen. But if we're in an inside setting, if we're in an area where we're going to be closer to each other, we want to make sure that the face covering stays on at all times. Hand washing. Hand washing or hand sanitizing is so important. Hand washing is the first priority. And you'll notice every single classroom has a sink. All of our bathrooms are fully up and functional. Additionally, if a classroom doesn't have a sink, we've installed a portable outdoor sink to ensure that everyone can wash their hands and that every classroom has hand sanitizer. The final thing is our cleaning protocols, and we are doing such a diligent job with cleaning protocols to ensure all frequently touched surfaces, door handles, faucet knobs, handrails, anything that gets frequently touched is cleaned and disinfected. Additionally, we have checklists in all the bathrooms, all the classrooms, all the offices, all the staff lounges to ensure that all of the areas of those rooms are cleaned on a regular basis and that they're sanitized and ready for everyone to return and work in a clean environment. This does not happen alone. This does not happen alone. This happens because we have a commitment from our staff, from our classified, from our certificated and our administrative team to make that happen. And I am personally very grateful. It's amazing what our school district has done. As I talk to my colleagues who work in other districts, this team is doing an amazing job, and I'm very, very grateful. Thank you.
Dr. Copeland?
So it's only been probably the last 3 weeks that we really knew how many students were going to be participating in each of the programs, whether it was the 100% virtual learning, the hybrid, the 5-day model. And so when we first started planning, our preliminary data said, we're going to have a lot of kids coming back for the 5-day model, and we needed to house those students. And so we rented some tents. You saw the tents go up. You've seen the tents go down, because what we learned was that we're able, for the students that are 5-day students, we're able to get them all inside in a multi-purpose room, in a library, in a STEM lab. However, we did have a couple schools where we were running into a problem. Beechwood was one, Rolling Hills was one. And so we thought we were going to have some other school sites. And so we reached out to the community, and tonight one of the items for approval is for off-site locations. We're asking to approve tonight the EV Free, their North Campus. They have been very generous, opened up their doors, And we currently have Beechwood there. We currently have Rolling Hills there. Also on there is the Presbyterian Church next to Golden Hill. We, at this time, do not need the space. However, we want to secure it just in case, because we know on inclement weather days with heat and wind and rain, and we know October and November can be kind of a bear, we need to have that. We are working with the city. We don't have an agreement with them yet. The city council did approve the city to enter into an agreement. We haven't seen that agreement yet, so we're going to be pulling that off tonight. And if we and when we receive that agreement, we will bring it back. But at this time, we're not in immediate need of using the city facilities. As Joanne mentioned, my department is just, it's an amazing team. I've never worked with a team like this. They really are a team. Transportation, she talked about cleaning the buses and the electrostatic guns and just making sure that the buses were running today. The wheels on the bus went around and around and around, and everybody got to school, and it was great. They're sitting on the bus, one to a seat, they're facing forward, they're wearing their mask, so it's great. Scott and his team, we've hired an additional custodian at each school site to go around and clean those touch points, play equipment, restrooms, doorknobs, you name it, to make sure those are clean. So one last thing I do want to mention about the grab-and-go meals. We are continuing for our students who are participating in the virtual learning, 100%, or the hybrid model. When they're not at school, there are 5 locations where they can receive grab-and-go lunch. It's free. It's the breakfast and lunch. And it is at Commonwealth, Rolling Hills, Fissler, Orangethorpe, and Maple. Those are around the community. We looked at our participation, and those schools made sense. So
we are no longer doing dinner?
the supper program is at some of the schools that it is available, yes. For this first week, as we're transitioning in, we are doing the grab-and-go lunches, but we will transfer or transition into the supper program. We're not really calling with supper, we're calling it a snack. It's a super snack. We're calling it a super snack. So I do want to thank our team, in no order, Damien and Melissa, keeping the money moving, making sure we can get all of these things. Mike McAdam and his department has just been wonderful with the purchasing, and he's just on it. He's on it, and he gets it. JD with transportation, I don't have to worry about transportation. Michael Burns and Nancy and Parisa down in nutrition services. I work in districts usually where nutrition services says, this is how we're going to do lunch, and we're going to do lunch this way at all of our schools. I talked to Michael Burns today. He said, we are doing 20 different style lunches at our sites today. They're unique. We've worked with the principal, what is going to work for your school site? And so I do want to thank them. Scott, Emilio, and Albert, they were out there this weekend working, putting down stickers, and making sure the school was ready. I feel like I planned 21 parties in just a short period of time. And probably the one that's really held this whole thing together is my assistant, Yasmin. She's been the taskmaster and making sure we had a whole list of things at all of our schools, and they all got done. So I just want to thank my team. I'm happy to be here today and happy that we're open, and bring on the next challenge. Hopefully they're not too big, but we will tackle it as a team. Mark says, no more challenges, we're good. We've mastered that skill. Should they come up, we're ready to tackle them.
May I ask a question? Ballpark, what are the percentages of 5-day hybrid and distance? Just ballpark, if you had to guess.
Do we have our latest numbers? I mean, I kind of have some in my mind. I don't want to misquote them by 5,
30% distance learning, 20% 5-day, and 50% approximately hybrid.
It's a great question. And so typically on any of our campuses,
50 hybrid.
So approximately 50% hybrid, approximately 30% distance learning, approximately
And usually at most of our schools, it's around 50%. So if a school has a student population of 600, somewhere around 300 any day they're balanced between the hybrid groups and the 5-day students and where they're at. So.
And do you have the number? How many teachers are not in class, are not doing?
So you mean our caring adults who are watching our 5-day students?
No.
I mean teachers who are working from home due to accommodations?
Right.
We have approximately 50 teachers.
Okay.
How is our homeschool going? Have we increased that program? I know we were at capacity.
We're about 150, and we're getting, obviously, we have people that are interested, and we have found some folks too, they're like, okay, this isn't what I want, I just want to do the distance learning, and that's fine too. Homeschool is,
It's a commitment.
It's a commitment by the parents, and
Right.
it's a little different,
It's
so,
different.
but it continues to meet a need, and it's been, continued to be a success, and still, of course, working out, bugs and different
Right.
things.
Okay, thank you.
I also don't want to forget Lori Bruno. She's our kind of our stepchild. She belongs to Chad's department. She belongs to mine. And so we work with her, and she's dealing with different divisions, and she does a great job, and we want to thank her.
Smart to serve your own drum.
And when we go to the public and they hear what we're doing and what we're giving to staff, what we're providing, I'm not saying what we are providing, they say, oh, how do you have all this money? And I say, you need to look at our agenda to see how much money is taken from this and put in that, and that's what rainy day reserves are for. So I know that your staff has been very busy looking for where to find the funds so that we can provide when we suddenly need different types of ear pods or different types of anything. And please give them a special thank you, because nobody wants to hear, well, that's a great idea, but we can't provide that, because that just makes life really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you.
And I do want to say that the CARES Act, the federal money that has come in, has been, I received almost $10 million. And so we have that money available. It will not last forever. And so we would like another stimulus bill in Washington, but that's not a political plug. So
that's wonderful.
That's the funding.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we're on our consent calendar. And does anybody want to discuss or pull anything on the consent calendar?
I wanted to give a shout out to all, like you said, the substitutes. You guys have been busy hiring subs like crazy. And I really found it enlightening that we had a bunch of males. So I like to see that we're being able to hire, a diverse group of people, bringing in some more males. And I always get really excited when we hire students that were in our district. So looking at the list of these, oh, I remember this kid. They're not kids anymore, obviously, but so thank you guys.
Anyone else?
Well, if we're giving shout outs, I'm happy to see that the district is continuing with having North Orange County Community College District students coming to Raymond. We have so many amazing resources. In the consent calendar, we see how we partner with Cal State Fullerton in particular, but it's nice to see the district working with students at NOCCD as well.
Thank you. You must have been looking over my shoulder. I was thinking the very same thing. And I appreciate EV Free helping us out, and the city of, and the various churches helping us out, the First Presbyterian Church, because we may really need those facilities in the future when even more children decide to come back to school. Finally, we want to look at our donations calendar and thank the people who've donated. There's one huge one there. What is the really big one, Dr. Pletka? That's really wonderful.
Golden Haze.
So, do we have anybody else who wants to comment in any of this? Okay, all those in favor of our consent calendar? Oh, we need a
Have we
motion.
moved? I move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Thank you. Do we, no further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All those opposed? That's a 4-0. And now we're down to our administrative report, which is developer fees.
Carmen, thank you for this paper one too.
Carmen, is there a way you can bring up that, we can click on that? Open that up, please. So this is an annual item as we show how the developer fee money was spent that was collected from June 2019 to May 2020. And some of you may not know what developer fees are. It's a fee, it's a tax that is, it's on new construction over 500 feet. There's a residential fee, there's a commercial fee. And we know that at homes, if you've done this, if you've added on 1,000 square feet to your house, whether you may not be planning to have a family at that time, we know that down the road, it now has the potential to house more people, which could be more kids, which could then put an impact on the school district. So developer fees, it's nothing unique to Fullerton. It's in every school district in California. And so we received $276,849. Last year, we spent $1 million on projects, and you need to get new glasses here. We spent at Golden Hill. Golden Hill, it was the playground, new playground equipment, and the rubberized surfacing at Golden Hill. Richmond is a lease on 2 portable classrooms. That actually, the lease is less than removing the classrooms. Fissler money, that was money that was in the developer fee fund that needed to be spent, and it was collected specifically for that area in years past. I think, Julianne, you said it was the Standard Pacific sale. Development, transportation building, we use some of the developer fee funds to improve the transportation facility, and the central cost for our demographers, and then the loan payment is for the Maple redevelopment project that started years ago. It's the remaining loan that will be paid off in 2004, 2005. So that is the developer fee report.
So the money that paid off the loan at Maple, where did the developer money, what's the nexus to Maple?
Well, I wasn't here when they did the project, but remember they did the expansion of Maple.
Right.
And added the 2 stories, and which really brought that school back and increased the capacity at that school. So it could be used, developer fee money can be used at Maple. It can be used really at any of our schools. We have open enrollment at all of our schools.
Oh, that's how.
And so that is how, that's the open enrollment.
Ah, thank you. I really appreciate that information.
So that's different than the Melrose,
Yes, the Melrose is,
totally
and that's not even that's not the Fissler money, that's not those funds that were in there. That was what you approve every year, that Melrose rate. It's not the CFDs.
Thank you for explaining that. I appreciate that. Okay. That's great.
Do we
have to approve that?
Yeah, do we file and serve it, or not file and serve it, just file it? Do we need to approve it?
It doesn't say here that we need to approve. It's a report.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does it need approval?
Does it need an approval? Yes? No, it's a report.
It does not.
No, it's a report. Would any of you have something you'd like us to discuss in the future? Trustee Takor?
Yes. I do have a couple of requests that can be communicated, but I've neglected to mention that I'm very pleased that our solar panels are up at every site. I spoke with Dr. Coughlin about this and received a communique, and I just think that this is how we should be thinking about the future and public projects such as school districts, you know, they can really lead the way. And so I'm so pleased that this started before I got on the school board. There's no way I can take any credit for it, but all credit to my colleagues and the district for moving forward with it. I also have to give a shout out to Orangethorpe's Teach Rock program. The school, my elementary school, who was featured with Drew Carey and Little Stevens Roadshow. When I was younger, I think Orangethorpe was mentioned on the news because my friend now, my teacher then, Greg Bach, had the Noon League. And it's just so great to see Orangethorpe making waves like this. So congratulations to Dr. Frady and everybody at Orangethorpe as well. For the request, may we just know site by site what the percentages are of how the parents chose to have their students come back?
Yes.
Please. And then just to follow up on the first week of February and the listening tour and everything like that.
Yes. We've had many meetings, and so we continue to work on that, and we are excited about bringing the full report in our December.
Thank you. Is that okay? December?
Well, we can do there's two pieces, where we can do an update if you would like at the next meeting, but the full set of recommendations will come at the December meeting. We conclude our listening responding tour concludes at the first part of December, which will pull together action steps, and then we'll bring that to the December meeting. But for sure, at our next meeting, we can do an update of where we are.
Thank you.
Do you want the update or do you want to have a
If
communique?
December was the timeline, but an update, however you choose to present that information is fine with me.
Good. Okay, that being said, I think we're ready to adjourn. Wow. Thank you all for being with us.
Everybody's clapping. Why are you guys clapping?
Because they're exhausted.